Hello everyone. Wow, lighting not too hot. Not too hot. I'm gonna see if what am I doing? I'm gonna try and fix this real quick. Watch, I'm so smart. Now it's kind of dark. Let's see, maybe if I go like this, just a little bit. How are you guys? I could pretend like it's a cup of tea, but it's not, it's coffee. I've been drinking lots of coffee. And yeah, hopefully some of you will join me. I have coffee, and you could have coffee. You could have tea. You could have water. And I'm here. I'm here to talk about the astrology. This is going to be a really good one. I'm running out a little bit of sleep, and I wanted to talk about the astrology. So this Thursday we have a new moon in Libra, and it's not just a new moon in Libra, although very Libra focused, and the Libra energy is all about balancing, finding our own equilibrium, balancing masculine and feminine, finding yin and yang, and finding the balance of the two. So definitely looking at which one of these could use a little bit more expression or more intention setting this cycle. So you can look at if you need to bring in more of the masculine energy or more of the feminine energy. Now, you guys all know this is basics. This is like 101 is we all carry the masculine and feminine, right? Even males, even females. And as I was saying in my Instagram live that I just did, and I realized every time I think I can save it, but you can't. So, is that we all have some of each, and the more that males, like, actual males, carry some of the feminine and like feel free and good in carrying that feminine energy, then the more that the females can carry more of the masculine energy. And I thought of this as I was going upstream. Is it upstream? When you're going against the current? I was going against the current, and my friend was watching me from a rock, and I was like, this is like the masculine, the energy that I'm like feeling more at home in my masculine energy. And it's true. It's like we need women to feel good in the masculine energy. And of course, some women do, and a lot of women do. But the more that we have that balance, the more we're going to see that balance, the more we're going to be happy with what we see. The more we're going to see empowered women really in their physical body and feeling really good. And so this is really a powerful time for that. And with this Libra energy, it's interesting because the ruler of Libra is Venus. And so it's a very Venetian new moon. And it's interesting because Libra is a masculine sign. So talk about balance, right? It's that balance of the masculine and feminine. That balance of, Libra loves writing, and Libra loves art, and Libra loves like the expression, right? And that's very masculine, like getting your art out there, getting your writing out there is all very masculine process. But then the Venus is finding the beauty in that, finding the sensual part of that, and how you have to feel into your senses to actually bring that out into the world. So it's a very good time for finding that balance, and a very good time for intention setting around balance, harmony, also relationships. So this is a really big time for relationships. It's a really big time for things getting unearthed in relationships, and a good time for makeovers in relationships. And so definitely spending some time intention setting around that, and working with your partner if you have one around that. Mercury, the moon, Sun, and Jupiter are all conjunct for this new moon. So it's pretty powerful in terms of Mercury's all about our processes and our conscious mind, and really clarity and getting to the details that need to be gotten to. And Jupiter's all about, as I said in my last Facebook Live, Jupiter's all about expanding and really opening. So we think of it as a planet of luck, and that's a good thing. And then in Scorpio, it's all about digging deep and getting to some of those subjects that might be taboo in our culture. So this is really, as we see societally what's happening right now, people feeling more comfortable speaking about their truth, and a lot of people being uncomfortable about it. But this is just where we're going, and the more that we can do that, the more we can clear that. And a lot of people are like all bummed out, like, oh man, I didn't know this happened to so-and-so, or like, this is sad. It is sad, but it's also sad that so many people have kept quiet about these things for so long. It's not that it's all just happening now, even though it might appear that way. It's that it's been happening for a really long time. And now we're just getting it out there, clearing the shame. And I'm definitely going to be talking more about shame. You'll hear later. I'll be talking about that. But for now, I just want to talk about the new moon. So all of those planets really expanding and processing and clearing, and then finding the balance, finding the equilibrium within all that. Maybe you can't read a bunch of stuff that people are posting. It's not really going to be helpful to you to do that maybe. So definitely finding your own balance on what you need and setting intention around that. It's a great time to be writing down your intentions this week, all Libra focused. And if you know your chart, or if you've had a reading with me, you probably have an image of your chart that I've given you, and you can go on there and you can look and see where Libra is in your chart, what house it occupies, where the clock is turned for you, where Libra is for you. And I will post in the comments a glyph of what Libra looks like, so you know and you can find it. And depending on what house it is in for you, that's going to depend where you want to set intention. So if it's in your second house, then you're going to be wanting to set intention around finding balance in your security and your personal finances and your, values and kind of like getting that all straight. And if it's in your, seventh house of relationships, then you're going to be wanting to set intention around relationships. And it's really like magnified because Libra is the ruler of the seventh house. And so this is a big time for you. Definitely reach out to the people that you can for support. If you are in a relationship, do not try to figure it all out on your own, right? So definitely getting those resources and getting assistance is always a good idea. So that's all happening, right? So you want to look at what house that's happening for you. Go onto my blog. You can check out, I just wrote all about the new moon. The other interesting thing with this new moon is that there's all that happening, and then that's also activating this grand fire trine because it's opposite. So we know that Libra and Aries are opposite, right? So we have Venus is the ruler of Libra. Sorry, so Venus is the ruler of Libra. Mars is the ruler of Aries. And so we have this very masculine, feminine opposition lit up right now. And Uranus being in Aries is all about change and bringing fast change, lightning speed change, breaking down the walls, explosions of change, right? Like mind-blowing, right? Your mind has blown open. And that's a good thing because we need change. We cannot stay the same. Transformation is a part of living, right? And so we have that opposition with the new moon, and then we have Uranus being lit up, but that's also lighting up this grand fire trine. And so this is why this new moon writing for me was very tedious because there's a lot of lingo, and all you need to know is that it's this week. There can be a lot of confusion, but if you just sit with where transformation and where you want to see change within yourself, within your relationships, within your sense of beauty and wanting to see beauty in the outside world, if you can just sit with that and really set intention around that, you're going to be doing great. But I have to talk about this because it's really interesting. So this grand fire trine, we got Uranus and Aries, just talked about that. You got Saturn and Black Moon Lilith and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archetype of the teacher, the kind of expansive mind, not just the logical mind, the lower mind. Sorry, I'm getting text. It's the expansive mind, the connection, the connected mind, and the teacher who brings in the information. So when we have Saturn, who is also considered the great teacher and the restrictive teacher, the kind of like harsh teacher. And a lot of people think of him as like the father archetype or like the patriarchal archetype. And we have him with Black Moon Lilith, who is the all-time greatest slut that there ever was. Like just the biggest badass. I call her the ride or die bitch. I don't know if it's okay to swear in here, and I don't know if that's actually a swear word or not. But you have those two. Dude, they're duking it out. They're like, okay. She's like, I am not going to just be shamed of what happened to me, like, and you got, Saturn over here is like, well, can be kind of cold and harsh, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have shared that. And Black Melissa is like, no, share it, like, go for it. So that's exciting. Do you guys like my animation? Oh my gosh, I need to sleep. Okay, and so that conjunction is activated at this new moon. Of course it is. But where it's pointing us is to the North Node in Leo. And North Node in Leo is all about shining our light and moving forward with creativity and courage and heart-centeredness. So if you're feeling like you're confused about your own process, you're confused about your own part maybe in this whole thing of the system of patriarchy. We all play a part in patriarchy. Women do too. And so it's important for us to look at that, but then also not let that hold us back. So ultimately, this is a really huge time for us all to move forward and transcend, and the old system has to be burnt down. It just has to be. I'm not talking about literally. I'm not starting fires, okay? But I'm talking about metaphysically, the old system has to be burnt down in order to build a new one. And how it starts burning down is by us all getting comfortable in the uncomfortable and talking about the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. And then also with that, because I feel like I have to say this because I don't feel like enough people are saying this, is protecting our own mind space, protecting our own eyes and our own brain. And so it is not a time for you to really feel like you have to go at it all alone, or feel like you have to be the one to teach other people about trauma, about sexual assault, about, the wounds of the feminine. And I'm not just talking about women, because some men have those wounds as well. And it's really about power. So if you don't feel powerful, get out. If you don't feel good, get out. You need to get into a space where you feel really good, and it might not be in the social media realm. And so I just really encourage you, don't let anybody mess with your healing. Don't let any people in your life or any forces in your brain mess with your healing. Take care of you. And that's what I recommend. So definitely this week is a good week to take care of the self, to get that good self-care and to set intention around where you want to see change, where you want to see transformation in your life. I'm here for astrological readings. I'm here for intuitive healing sessions. And I'm also here I work with couples as well. So if you guys want to reach out and work with me, definitely schedule something on my website. It's just my name, abigailbarella.com. You can find the link in my Facebook page. Check out my blog, as I mentioned, and stay tuned for an amazing podcast that's gonna blow your mind. Bye. Have a good day.